Oh,
Thank
Look
God.
like you have a neck ache.
Okay, so I'm going to start the recording. Here we go.
Hey, listen, if you're naked, then do it from here up. Okay?
Oh, actually, it already is recording. We might have to try to edit that one.
We're not going to edit a darn thing. This is like open mic time, right?
All right, so we're ready to go when you are, Fred.
Excellent. Very good. I just realized I got 3 separate things here. And Donna, good to see you. You are going to want to practice getting your name entered into the Zoom meeting, because right now you're showing up as not Donna, you're showing up as Galaxy S9 Plus. Okay, and is that Lori? Hey, Lori, how are you? Can you hear us? All right. Now, let's see here. I'm gonna let you manually mute people that they can unmute themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better than mute all, just because then I can't be unmuted. I can't unmute myself. All right, folks, welcome. This is essentially, hopefully, everybody that is here. The new people actually would probably be just Lori. Hopefully you got a chance to review the Wednesday organizational call. It was kind of like the pre-call for today. We just kind of wanted to set some parameters, some expectations, and that sort of thing. Good to have you all here. I'm going to do just a little bit of housekeeping, okay? One of the things that we really want to do is be ready to start right at the bottom of the hour. This is gym day for me. I cut my gym. Yes? Yes, that's me. No, we've already got that taken care of. Did they send you a request for that? Oh, I got you. No, we're all set. We are back on track with the mail order people. Thank you very much for following up, though. Thank you too. Bye-bye. I apologize, folks. That was the pharmacy. So normally I would not take calls. This is your time, so my apologies. Mom's meds got to stay on top of that. So anyway, so a little housekeeping here. One of the things that we want to do is we want to be prepared to start right at the bottom of the hour. So not, chit-chatting and that sort of thing. Show up 5 or 10 minutes early. I actually got in a couple of minutes early. I will do my very best to be early coming in from the gym. And we want to make, this professional group here, all right? When the meeting's scheduled to start at 5:30 Pacific, let's be ready to go at 5:30 Pacific. The old adage, right? If you're on time, you're late. Okay? I mean, honestly, that was a big challenge for me all my life. I was the guy, I had my whole circle of friends said, you can tell how late Fred's going to be based upon how, the distance he's got to go. They figured I'd be a week late for the wedding that was in New York, back in the day when I had a cross-country motorcycle trip to get to the wedding, right? That is something I've worked on, all about personal development, and I do get it. If you are on time, you're late. You want to be getting the chit chat out of the way, get your journal ready to go. I got my notes ready to go. So, one housekeeping point, let's be ready to go. Number 2, let's get get used to the technology of Zoom. I'm telling you right now, you don't have to be able to do video conferencing in the future of network marketing. There'll be groups of people that won't. Okay, for instance, I'm thinking about the, I want to say Quakers. That's not the right term. Is that the right term? You muted. Not Quakers. What are they called?
Amish.
Amish. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, and they're not going to. Okay, hey, it's a religious thing. I'm cool. Beyond that, you need to be, if you want to take full advantage of what's going to happen, you got to be comfortable being on camera. As you can see, while I don't particularly, care to look like this when I'm doing a meeting, this is a closed group. I'm not here to impress your prospect, although there may come a time when I look like this when your prospect's on there, all right? So we want to have our names on the window. We want to be on camera, okay? There's no excuse. There's no reason for it, okay? You got to become accustomed to it. It's kind of like this. It's like old school. If you wanted to do three-way calling back in the 80s and the 90s, you had to pay $3 a month more for the three-way calling feature on your phone. You can't do third-party validation without three-way calling. You can't have three-way calling unless you pay the $3. It's simple stuff. So let's have you do that, all right? We talked, I reviewed our meeting from last week, and I got a couple of things I want to do here, but what I also want to do is I want to be able to reserve the time at the end for any kind of communication that we need amongst each other, things that we want to do, that sort of stuff. Kind of the assignment, and nobody's responsible right now because we used Wednesday as kind of like the warm-up session. Here's session 1. We've got approximately 90 days and change to put everything in together as a group so that when we, flip the switch and become Isagenix distributors, we've got everything in place. Everybody's going to say, man, what happened to that group, man? They're just like, they said go and boom, they're off the runway because we've been working in advance of that. All right. So one of the things we want to do is set some goals. I'd encourage you all to spend some time setting goals. David, you're going to want to get a copy or get access to. Do this for me, Kate. Can you put the YouTube link to the Wednesday call? Our previous Wednesday, put that in the chat box. So everybody go back and if this is your first time here with us, go back to the Wednesday call and review that so that you can kind of come up to speed with the things that we want every member of the group to be doing. All right. One of the things from Wednesday was to set some goals, and I encourage you to think big. And right now, while I'm not interested in anybody telling us what your goals are, next week, for those of you that want to, remember, this is not, nobody's going to be kicked out because they don't do the deal. They'll kick themselves out. But I encourage you to formulate your goals, think long term. What do you want to accomplish over the next 3 to 5 years? That's the big goal. And then, break it down some. What's a 90-day goal? Okay, what's a 90-day goal? And then break it down again to what's your 30-day goal. Okay, so I'm going to cut you a little bit of slack if you didn't have that all formulated. I realized I never really kind of framed that up more specifically, but let's all do that. So we've got like a 3 to 5 year goal. Do you want to be making, $1,000 a month consistently locked in? You want to be making $1,000 a week. You want to be making $1,000 a day. What's the long-term goal for your business? Because you're never going to get there unless you've pegged where that is. Then let's break it down into something that we'll work with as a group. What are the 90-day goals? Where do you want to be July 1 when we're, eminently about to be able to become an Isagenix distributor? That's, again, the best I've got right now is, by the celebration time in mid-July. Then let's break it down into a 30-day goal because we're right at the beginning of the 30 days of this month, right? April Fool's Day is what? I don't know, tomorrow? Day after, something like that. So let's kind of be prepared for that for next Monday. And those that are interested in sharing can share them. All right. Those that, and honestly, I've never been that guy that particularly cares to do the public pronouncement of my goals because honestly, I don't really care what anybody else thinks. I only care about me. I care what do I think about my, my production. Okay. So you're welcome to share it if you want. If you don't want to, that's okay. Now, on the note of goals, we've got the announcement starting as of 2 days ago on Saturday. We have been given the opportunity to earn crystal bonuses. And I'm not going to go into all the details of that. If you don't know all the details of that, There are documents available. See, champs, you know, get a hold of me. Kate, did everybody get an email with the 2 PowerPoints, one for Canada, one for the US on the Crystal Bonus program? I don't know if that came out to,
I don't think we
top
got an
50 or it
email.
came out to everybody.
We didn't get an email, but the information was covered by David Moses and Chris Estes in that Zija Champs, and then also on Vimeo under Zija International. They
Okay.
did the whiteboard presentation. I can see if
Chris
I can.
was doing the whiteboard. David was talking.
Yes.
Okay, good. And so that's available out there. If you need that link, message Kate, she'll get it to you.
Yeah, I can put it in our group chat.
Put it in it, yeah, that would be very, very good. Now, for the goals, the 30-day goal, here's my recommendation to you. If you're part of this group, it should be minimum qualifying in the next 30 days for the Crystal Consultant bonus and the manager bonus. Okay, to become a consultant, you have to enroll 2 people at 100 BV, one on the left, one on the right. Structure is important here. Once you get 2 of those people, when you've developed 2 consultants, one on the left, one on the right, you'll be a Crystal manager. Okay, because you got 2 consultants. You're going to get the Crystal bonuses. The simple way to do it, it's extra money layered on top of the Isagenix comp plan for accomplishing the various stages of development within a specific time frame. So if you become a consultant yourself, you get a customer on the left and a customer on the right. You make $50 for that. That's your consultant bonus. You're going to make money for getting those people, but you're going to get a Crystal bonus, another $50 for doing it within the first 30 days. This group, first of all, that should be the minimum. Okay, I'm going to encourage each one of you that are really focused and committed, shoot for Crystal Manager. Crystal Manager, let me see if I got this in front of me here. Crystal Manager, when you have the 2 people, your 2 personals, one on each side, and help them get their first 2 customers, you do that within, what's the time frame? I think it's what's the time frame? I'm looking, time frame is May 27th. So if you do that within the next 30 days, you're going to make $250 extra. That's the Crystal bonus. Again, Crystal bonus is extra money layered on top of the comp plan for doing it within a specified time. I would challenge everybody to focus on hitting Crystal Manager. You only get one chance to hit it. Once the 30 days are gone, you missed it. But I think that's a powerful, powerful goal for each member of this group to be able to shoot for. So we talked about some goals. I wanted you to also focus on clearing your calendar. Make this make this time the most important time, right? I had to cut my gym short, and that may not seem like a big deal to y'all, but I lost 30 minutes of my time. Okay, I only get 6 hours of gym time a week. All right, and I lost 30 minutes of that so I could be here on time. So just saying. All right, I'm not saying anything, you guys, just saying. Now, what we wanted to do here was to provide support in terms of training and resources. We wanted to provide accountability, and honestly, accountability is something you're going to have to take care of yourself, but I see several of you have already started that process, being on time, camera on, name correctly put in there. We're going to give you a little bit of time to get that together. Mentorship and personal development. I have got something I would like to have each one of you kind of make as part of your personal development routine for this upcoming week until we meet again here on Monday, and that is to read or reread, if you've already done it, As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. This is probably one of the most significant contributions to my success in terms of personal development, was internalizing the concepts from As a Man Thinketh. Now, many of you have already read it, but I guarantee you haven't read it in the last 3 months, 6 months, maybe 12 months, maybe longer, okay? Now, if you don't have the book, you can, it's As a Man Thinketh, think, then ETH. You can search for that on YouTube and get the audio recording. There you go, Barbie. Barbie is such a show off. You know, she was the girl that sat in the front of the class, and when the teacher said, how many of you have completed the homework, you know, and she'd be raising her hand going, I can tell you. Thank you, Barbie. You can get a downloadable PDF of the book if you go to asamanthinketh.net. .net, right, Brian? It's not it's .net, I'm pretty sure.
Copies. There's a lot of copies. You could just put PDF and the name of the book, and a few different sources will come up. Right?
Okay, very good. Yeah, the one website that I know about, they are going to ask you to subscribe to their, you know, email list, and then they'll give you the free download, right? But yeah, what Brian says, you just Google As a Man Thinketh, PDF download, you'll find those. I'm going to be candid with you. I've got like 3 copies of the book. I've honestly never read the book all the way through. Okay. That's just part of me being a special child. Warn you in advance, the language is archaic. I think it was written back in the late 19 teens or 20s. Okay. So the actual phrasing of the book, it's kind of archaic language. What worked way better for me, and a matter of fact, most of the personal, the primary personal development books, As a Man Thinketh, Think and Grow Rich, those I've actually never read. I've read sections of them. I've listened to them. Audio recording is what worked for me. So I do know there is a audio recording of that book. I would encourage each one of you to try and get through that at least once, if not twice this week. The concepts behind that are the difference between, you know, Fred Holmes, the truck driver, and now Fred Holmes, you know, multiple times over 7-figure income earner. Okay. The second company I was with, I achieved, they called it National Marketing Director, probably equivalent of like a Diamond Elite in the Zija Comp plan. I did that in 11 months. Okay, nobody had ever done that before. And that was a big, big deal. I mean, I got a lot of notoriety for doing that, but it had nothing to do with being spectacular. I had been visualizing that success for almost a year, and I created it here first. David talks a lot about that. You guys have been around for a while. David talks about everything starts in the mind. That's because As a Man Thinketh made that much difference in his life. So little homework assignment for this week. Get comfortable with the Zoom for this week. I talked about having a 90-second story. I'm going to take like maybe 3 or 4 minutes and frame that up. And I'm going to encourage you to take that and make that part of your homework to set yourself up. The 90-second story, the 60-second story, the 2-minute story, they're all synonymous. It is a relatively short testimonial. And we all that needs to be the most important one, because that's what you're going to share when your new distributor has a prospect on the phone or on a Zoom meeting for third-party validation. That's what you do. I've heard people all the time say, well, I understand I'm supposed to do third-party validation to help my downline, but I don't know what I do. It's real simple. I mean, if you want the formal training, establish rapport, okay, ask some questions, share your story, lead them to further action. That's what you do. But you don't even have to be that formal. If you simply are a nice person, develop a relationship with your new distributor's prospect so that the prospect sees you as being somebody that they likely would like, that they'd want to be in business with, because you're the expert that your new distributor brought their prospect to see. Is that making sense? Y'all with me so far? And so the only thing you really need to do is to establish your credibility. Your credibility is established through the story. The well-structured story is the guide for the prospect on what they should do. Because if they really want to do what we do, if they want to do what we're doing to have what we have, then they're going to want to know, how do I do it? And so the story should be framed up for the way that they, to give them that guideline. So here's the nickel version of the story: your background and motivation to get involved. I used to be a cross-country truck driver, and I was desperately looking for a way to make a way above average income to take care of my special needs son. Now, what I just said there in 12 seconds was a little bit about me. Okay, now they may not be a truck driver, but they're starting to recognize different people from different walks of life. Now, and that story will actually appeal to a blue collar person, right? Everybody loves their children, do anything for their children. I'm just like them, right? I shared the drama of my story. I'd do anything to be able to help my special needs son. That's the first element of your story: your background and motivation to get involved. Number two, how you got started and what you did. So what I did when I saw this opportunity, I just followed the system. I got some product, enough for me and enough to sample out. The package is no longer an issue. Okay, the package you got is no longer an issue. I got enough product for me and my family and enough to sample out, and then I plugged into the simple system. I did it exactly the way I was taught. They're going to want to know, what's that system? Third element of your story is results. And here you need to talk results. If you've just gotten started, how about this one? And and I plugged into the simple system. I got a couple of customers, and my first week I made $87.33, and it's fun. It took me no time at all. That's a powerful story. Show me somebody that isn't interested in making an extra 80 bucks this week. Okay? That everybody, especially now, nobody's working and they're making any money, right? Whatever your story is, the results component is whatever it is. You sell the best story you have. Fellas, understand this. Back in the days when you were dating, you sell the best story you got. All right? Brian is a master at this because he got Kate. Believe it or not. Most of us can't believe it. All right? You sell the best story you got. And if the best story you got happens to be from a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago, you sell that story. All right? Time can be evaporated. So you want to develop the components of your story. And let's start maybe having a couple of us share our stories, 60-second story next week. Okay? So we can start doing some critique. And then we can start, refining each other's story. Let's see here. The last thing I want to really talk about, actually, I'm going to hold that till next week. Let's get a little bit of input from everybody. What are the kinds of things that we want to be focusing on? And this is your group. Okay, I'm simply here to guide, direct, facilitate. And it's not just me. Each one of you has unique areas of expertise and what have you. We did have somebody requesting information on how to do a Facebook Live. I will just interject right now. That is not an issue. Okay, I want you to think about this. Do you know how many Facebook Lives I have done in my Zija career?
None.
One.
One.
No, Ernest was almost right. One. And the only reason I did it is it was during a particular time frame in Zija. We were promoting a particular, process. As a few years ago. I was one of about 20 leaders who was requested to do a Facebook Live. I did it because I'm part of the team. That's the only one I've ever done. I've posted a couple of videos after did the video, recorded it, and then posted on Facebook. But other than that one time, I've never done a Facebook Live. Is that an issue? No, it is a technique. Do not get caught up in focusing on techniques, focus on concepts. Now, if social media, Facebook is something you're really good at, then you do it. All right, do it. But don't make it an issue in your new person's success, because if you try to tell me you got to be on Facebook to be successful, I'm out of the game. Okay, because I'm not going to do it. Right? I don't care to. It's a time waste to me. Most of you know, I no longer spend any time. The most time I spend on Facebook is posting the announcement of the Thursday night Biz Talks, the Saturday morning new distributor training, and that's it. So what I am, though, interested in doing is providing for the needs of the group. I'm going to ask you to, I did this in our little chat, I'm going to ask you if you are comfortable leading a short training on doing a Facebook Live, I would like you to do that for us. Okay, I'm going to ask somebody else who's better equipped to do that, and we can do that, in a week or 2 or 3. So we're getting close to that time. For next week, your 60-second story, have that framed up. For those of you that want some help with that, let's work on that a little bit. As a man thinketh, okay, let's get that underneath our belt. And again, if you haven't read it recently, you probably should do it again, because that's really going to lead you to success over the next 90 days. Finally, for those of you that did not hear the Wednesday broadcast, I want you to go through the Wednesday broadcast so you can kind of get the protocols and that sort of thing. And then let's see, you did a YouTube link on there. Is that the Wednesday broadcast, Kate?
It is.
Okay, Wednesday broadcast. Very good. Check your Donna and Lori, check your Facebook, accept a friendship. All right. Kate has put together not a Facebook group for us, but a Facebook Messenger group. That way we can do some instantaneous communication if we need to. Lori, you want to check your Facebook page, accept the friendship, because you got that thing locked down. She couldn't even message you with to join the group. And who was the other one?
Donna. Actually, Donna, I added into the group. She just Donna's Facebook profile was open enough that she could be added to a group without being friends. But
all right,
please accept the friendship.
All right, and then the rest of you, if you haven't been added to that Facebook Messenger group, message Kate, and she will get you done. Put into that. So we got a couple of assignments for next week. Biggest thing I want you to do is focus on Crystal Manager. Crystal Manager bonus. It's really going to set you up great, because you'll have the requirements of one on the left, one on the right, both of those people being consultants. Get it done in the 30 days, extra $250, you're building your story. All right, so I'm down to the wire here, folks. Questions, comments?
I think we're good, Fred. Thank you so much.
All right, very, very good. I apologize. I'm going to run. I'm going to take myself out of the meeting. Kate, why don't you leave the chat going for a minute? Folks, if there's anything you want to communicate, and I'm just too rushed for time right now, give it to Kate. Kate will pass it on. But I'm going to, y'all talk amongst yourself, because I'm going to step out, and then some of you might be free to say something that I'm not going to hear. Okay?
John says hi.
Let's talk about that guy. Talk behind my back? Don't do that. That's mean. Folks, I am really, really excited about your participation. I expect we're going to have a couple of more people joining us. Don't hesitate. If you've got somebody that's serious about, using this opportunity we've got with Isagenix to drive their future financial, stability, invite them. We're just looking for people who want to do the deal. That's all. That's the only requirement. You can be good looking like, Kate and Brian. That helps. But you can be ugly like me, and it don't make any difference. All right. So I'm going to step away. Great seeing you guys.
Thanks, Fred.
Week if you desire. I'll do everything I can, and we'll be back here on time, ready to go, bottom of the hour Monday. All right. See you guys.
Fred.
Thank
you, Fred.
Thanks, Fred.
Thank you, Fred.
Good night.
I'm still recording. If anybody had any quick questions, make sure you check the chat. Anyone else have any communication before we end here?
I have a question.
Okay.
I've been homebound for quite some time, and now with the COVID-19, we're all that way. So how are you finding your clients or potential customers?
You know, I think it's reconnecting with people that you maybe haven't connected with recently. Fred suggested that we go back to anybody who's ever been a customer before, anybody
Okay.
who's ever been a distributor before, and basically, you know, have you heard the good news? You know,
Okay.
we're Isogenics now, and, you know, we've got some exciting new products and a new opportunity to make more money. And some people have heard of Isogenics already, and so they're excited and they're jumping back on.
Okay.
Basically, you can go back to almost anybody that you've talked to in the past who maybe didn't get it even as warm as becoming a customer or getting into a three-way conversation at that time. Maybe their
Oh, that's a
timing
good
wasn't
idea.
right.
Okay.
And it's a different name now.
Yeah.
It's, you know.
So I think I'm using the phone more, picking the phone up and actually calling people. I am.
Oh my gosh.
And we should even like maybe connect, you know, with FaceTime or Zoom calls.
Sure.
You know,
Mhm.
anything to feel more connected. I think in this social distancing environment,
Okay.
people are feeling disconnected. So if we can establish that connection, and as my friend Soreen says, we can be socially close and physically distant.
There you
think
go.
I think
That's
that's a big
good.
goal. So
Keep in mind, ultimately, when you do go back to people and you develop some interest, you want to get them into a three-way call. with
Right.
someone.
yeah.
Right.
And all of us are available to help each other. And that's part of the reason that we're going to be telling our story, so that we can be reminded of each other's stories or learn each other's stories, so that we can provide that three-way validation when it's
Okay.
needed.
I went into my Zoom account and put my full name in there for, you know, the screen recognition, and obviously it still just says me.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
I did try, you know, and I
Yeah.
thought I had done everything correctly. And he
Well,
said,
you know what? If you want to like call me or connect with somebody else that you may feel more comfortable with, it doesn't matter. We could, you know, actually
I went in
try to
there
be on the
right
phone
after.
and yeah.
I went in
What-
there right after the meeting last week, and I thought, I'm going to do this while I'm thinking about it. And I was like, yes. And then it popped, it was like,
Yeah, maybe maybe there was a save button that you didn't hit.
that's possible.
That
I'll check
I
again.
found that be like, I thought I edited something and then I go back and it's not edited, because
Okay.
then I discovered a save button. So that might
Okay.
be it. But if that doesn't work, you know, call me and
Okay.
we can figure something out. So anybody
There
else
we
have
go.
any quick questions? Bye, Rayanne. Bye, Barbie. Good night, everyone.
All right, good night.
Bye.
Thanks, Kate.
Good night.
Good night.
Great, thank you.